So we currently have new information on both Sigewinne and Clorinde. So Clorinde appears to be a main DPS, and in her gameplay she seems to include a gun, but I'm sure you already know that, so let's get into the more interesting and new information about Clorinde's kit. During her skill, she performs a stab lunge, dodging also results in a stab lunge, and she's not limited to electro reactions. She has the same 3-layered reactions as Neuvillette, but with electro elements. If you don't already know, basically implies the more elemental reactions she has with other elements, the higher her damage can scale. So it honestly sounds like she's going to be a pretty strong DPS, and given her title, Champion Duelist, I would expect her to be so. So if you're curious about her constellations, then her more notable ones are C1, as it triggers a follow-up attack with every normal attack, guaranteed 100% of the time. Basically, she does double the damage from a basic normal attack. Her C2, which gives her interruption resistance, and lastly, her C6, when Clorinde stabs, there is a coordinated attack. However, the most important thing in my opinion and her most notable feature is her talent, which states upon consuming BOL, or Bond of Life, she obtains 20 crit. It seems MiHoYo intends to apply this Bond of Life mechanic more into upcoming characters, which honestly is a new concept and still feels quite refreshing. Although I know the Bond of Life mechanic is still quite fresh, and it seems not many people are too fond of it. Now, if you're interested in Sigewinne, she will be a 5-star character, as she already has her own signature bow and seems to be a buffer for Arlecchino or any characters that revolve around Bond of Life. Her skill is set to generate bubbles that bounce 3 times, getting smaller with each bounce. They create water droplets. When collected, grant you Bond of Life. Lastly, the Bond of Life affects the amount of healing, and her bursts just shoots water. Her more notable constellations, her C1, the size of her skill bubble won't change, and her signature weapon will be a bow with a 66% HP substat on it, and it'll increase burst damage. From the sounds of it, the most notable things to take from this are her water droplets from her skill, which seem to grant you BOL or Bond of Life upon collecting them. It seems to me that she is highly likely to be a buffer and a healer, and most likely will pair really well with Arlecchino and possibly her best support, as for Arlecchino, the more Bond of Life, the more damage and healing she'll receive. Please keep in mind that this is all pre-beta information and it is still subject to change, but what are your thoughts and opinions for Sigewinne and Clorinde? And I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys subscribed, as it genuinely does help the channel.